Okay, thank you and welcome to Empathic Leadership. I'm very excited for this chat. I'm joined today by two friends, Mo in Dubai, where I think it's nearly night time, and I'm joined by Sherry in California. So I met Mo over a decade ago now when I was working at JP Morgan. We had the joys of working those lovely hours well into the night. And I've just moved into a new house, and I remember buying my first house, and Mo was the only person coming to visit me when I couldn't afford to go out and helping me with finding builders. So it's really nice to connect with you again, Mo, and have you on the show to talk about empathic leadership. And Sherry, I recently just met you, moving to the US, been trying to stalk people on LinkedIn, and you were one of the people kind enough to give you a time to connect with me, give me some tips, and also to come on this show. So very, very happy to have both of you on here. And so today we're going to be talking about empathic leadership in this uncertain times that we find ourselves. And I wanted to focus on what I call the second wave, where the last 3 months, where our mindset has shifted now to, we don't know how long this is going to last. And I just wanted to touch on, Sherry shared this with us earlier, where was it the three M's, movement, meditation, and moments. So I wanted to touch on that, and how are you guys using those 3 M's to help your mental fitness during this second wave? So Sherry, if you don't mind kicking the ball off.
Yeah, so the 3 M's came to me a while ago. As I was trying to create more space in my life, I realized I had gotten to a really unbalanced place where, morning to, dropping my head on the pillow late at night, and realized I needed more margin, more space around the edges to be more anchored in myself, to be able to do good work and be of service. I just intuitively had this sense that those three things were important. When I am at that place of self-exploration, I tend to increase my meditation practice and do more journaling, and knowing that movement and the connection to others when I'm in a place of stress is really important. So for me, what's been really critical, and it's actually been a little bit of the sweetness of this uncertain time, has been that my morning routine has more space. Because I'm not rushing to get dressed to get in the car to get to the office. I've got a little bit more capacity, and I'm able to hold that time of getting up, getting dressed, having some coffee, and sitting for a good amount of time, doing my journal writing. And I find that I can come into my day with more purpose and intention, because I've got that moment to pause and go, what am I really wanting to accomplish today?
Yeah.
What's really important? What's the prep that I need to do, as opposed to dashing off and kind of charging into it, right?
Right. Yeah. I love that answer. I definitely think having that time to self-reflect, we have to be more intentional now, instead of just being in that autopilot where we're just moving on to the next meeting or the next thing. It's really been helpful being intentional. Mo, perhaps if you want to jump in as well with your 3 M's.
Absolutely. It's just really been an extension of the last 9 years, to be honest. I've had my own business now for 9 years, and even though I usually travel for 70-80% of my time, that's throughout the Gulf and the Middle East, with my work with clients from around the world. But the last 3 months, or 5 months, I should say, really, from February, March onwards, ironic, we lived through Ramadan. I'm a Muslim, right? So we had to, fasting was fantastic to spend our whole family time, at home and not have to worry about work and travel. It was one of the easiest Ramadans we've had, to be honest. And spending it with family is fantastic. You talk about meditation. You couldn't get any better time, to spend, praying, being with the family, reflecting, giving to charity. That was a fantastic moment back in May. What Sherry just mentioned about having more time, of course, that's a huge plus as well. I don't need to fly an hour to go to Oman, or, you know, spend 2 hours in a car to go to Abu Dhabi. Everything's become very Zoom relevant now. So it's actually become more productive. We've actually been busier in the last 3 months with work. And it's really down to the fact that people have now, you know, accepted the fact that we can have Zoom calls and do meetings. But having said that, you know, working from home, you know, being able to give that family time as well is so important, and balancing that, you know, like I don't mind working till 10, 11 o'clock if I have to, but guess what? I've spent 4 hours at home. I've spent time with the kids. I've gone to the gym. So it's a bit of everything, really. So yeah, the 3Ms have been extensive, I guess, over the last 3 months, more so than the last 9 years, but the last 9 years more so than the previous decade. so,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Actually, the point. Sorry, Michelle. Yeah.
I wanted to come back to moments for a second, because I think that was the biggest transition in the M's for me of the last 3 months, because it was this realization that I needed to be more intentional in the moments, because all of the normal moments that were built into my life had dissipated. I didn't have the moment of standing in a coffee shop and having an out of the blue conversation with the person in front of me, and, oh, wasn't that sweet? What a lovely person. Off with my day. Didn't have the moments of, the smiles in the grocery store, right? We're wearing masks all the time, right?
Yeah.
The things that we aren't seeing and experiencing, that bring that richness and fullness. So I had to double down in my thinking about the moments, and what am I going to be excited about and anticipating in each day, right? To make sure that I've got that bit of the balance too.
Yeah, I'd love that you touched on that point about the moments, because I think that's been not having the creative outlets like we normally have. Kind of to fill up your energy, you'd really have to focus on the moments that you're having to really get that. For me, it's been with my son, where the moments are also challenges, but it also brings you so much joy. And when you catch yourself like waking up in the night, he's teething at the moment, and you're holding him on your chest, and it just fills you with so much joy, even though you're really tired. Having those moments during this period, doubling down on them have really helped. So thank you for raising that. I don't know, Mo, have you been having these moments as well?
Yeah, it's been good, because we've been spending a lot of time doing home learning with the kids and being closer to them. Of course, we've got the young twins who are 3, but my older daughter's nearly 8. And to actually see her work end to end, which we normally don't see, she's at school, but begin to realize how much she's actually done over the last year, in terms of books. I mean, she's, reading Wind in the Willows, and she's pretty much finished all the Roald Dahl collection, and she's only 7, so to see her going through that journey as well, moments with the family, with my wife, it's been great, but also with work, because interesting, I keep talking about work, but it's interesting, a lot of the people that I work with in this whole region, they're meant to be investors, right? They're meant to be people we work with on transactions and deals, but they become friends. They call you up because they've got to be busy, they've got to talk, and, your counterparts become your friends. They actually call you up, and it's, we've actually bonded a lot more. They've got kids as well, so they're saying, "Oh, great! I'll give you a call tonight at 8, 9 o'clock. We'll talk then when the kids are asleep." So there's, and I don't think we'll capture that once everyone goes back to the rat race, as we call it. Once they get back to the office jobs, right? It would be difficult for them to say, "I'll call you at 8, 9 o'clock tonight. We can be a bit freer." So I think we've seen more of a human element come into everyone's lives. Like you said, Sherry, about the supermarkets, the coffee shops, there's a human element and the vulnerableness that's come in. No one's invincible. That's what it's proven. Everyone's been touched in some way or another. So I think society will become closer for that, in my opinion.